Hello viewers, welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are a returning viewer. I do appreciate you clicking on my videos, as always, and I also appreciate the new viewers that have decided to click on this video. This particular video is I said on my previous video that I was going to do a recap on my other predictions and then compare them to the actual results. Decided not to do that, that just sounds like a really boring video. Instead, I'm going to be predicting the main event of the North America Full Invitational this weekend. So I'm just going to be predicting the main event this time around, not main event and playoffs. And then once the main event matches have been played, I'll come back and predict the playoffs. So the main event matches get played Friday. It's Tuesday. It's Monday? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday today. 1st of November. These matches here I'm going to be predicting get played on the 4th of November. Once these matches have been played, I'll record my video for the playoff matches and upload it on the Saturday, so just before the playoffs get played. Anyway, I'm just going to get straight into this. Shorten down my intros a bit, because sometimes they can be a bit long. Straight off the rip, I'm going to go for Genji to sweep Seoul. Yeah, that took a little while to register there, but yeah, I think Genji will sweep that. Genji, well, will they? They were a little bit shaky in their first couple matches last time round. But I think they'll be alright. I think they'll be comfortable. They look like a really solid team. I think they've been quite underrated coming into North America, obviously because it's 2 EU players that have moved across to North America. But I think they've cemented their place in North America, and they definitely are a top team. V1, EU Full Cup champions, as some of you may know, against 26 Rising. 26 Rising, the team with Expert, Hawk, and Money. I think this would be another sweep. FaZe against Knights. Knights looking like a half decent team, but this is FaZe Clan we're talking about, and this is going to seem boring, but I think it's going to be. I keep doing that. It's going to be another sweep in my mind. I think these 3 teams are comfortably ahead of these 3 teams here. SSG against Rogue. Again, I think the team on the left are going to be the stronger team here. I'm going to give a game to Rogue, though. It's not going to be a sweep this time around. 3-1 in favour of Space Station Gaming, in my opinion. I don't think SSG look any better than they did last year with the addition of LJ in replace of Rettles, but I still think they haven't peaked yet. I think they've got potential that they've got to fill in. We'll see, though. We'll see. We'll see how they get on in the Full Invitational. Next match is NRG versus Team Axel. Now, Team Axel, last time these 2 teams played, Axel perfect swept NRG. I believe that was the last time they played. Now, I really like Team Axel. I think they're a really solid team. I think Toasty's a brilliant player, underrated player. And I don't think NRG are back to where they were a while ago. I know a lot of people think they are. They've had one good result since they sacked the coach. I don't think that's the reason that they're doing better. I just think it's all in their heads. I think, oh, okay, we'll sack the coach, we're going to play better now. I just think it's all a mental thing with NRG. And because of that, I fancy Axel taking that. I think Axel will be full of confidence after perfect sweeping them last time round. I think it'll be closer this time. But Axel, in my opinion, are an underrated team. Good little team. And I think they can do some damage. Next up is G2 against Dignitas. Drees, Delta, and Andy. Andy, in my opinion, has so much potential as well. I don't think he's lived up to it just yet. I think he's a really, really good player. I don't think Dignitas will have enough to take down G2. I don't think G2 will sweep. I think Dignitas will nick a game. But yeah, I think G2 will comfortably win that. Reasonably comfortably anyway. Next up is Furia against Shopify. Shopify looking like a really good team in NA. Probably underperformed a little bit so far. I think a lot of people had them a lot higher up than where they are currently. And I think they're going to give a good game to Furia, but I do think Furia are going to take it. But it will go to 5. It definitely will go to 5 in my opinion. I think that's going to be a really strong battle for both teams. Good tough match, proper match. Watch this one, it's going to be entertaining. Optic Gaming against Complexity. Wow. Last time, these 2 teams just gives me Call of Duty memories going against each other on COD Ghosts. Anyway, that's a different story. Optic Gaming against Complexity. Oof, this is a tough one, actually. I think Complexity are a bit of a sleeping giant at the moment. They're not doing as well as they should be. Raiseball, CRR, and AJG. Really, really good team. I think CRR is a really good pickup. Obviously, come over from EU to NA. One of the 3 players that did do so. Optic Gaming, Rettles, Magic Bear, and AJ. I'm going to give this to Complexity. I think. I feel like they've got something to prove. They need to prove it here. This is a tough matchup against Optic. I think they can prove it to everybody that they're good enough to be here, good enough to be at the top. Right, the low matches first up then, NRG against Seoul. But again, it's all a mental for NRG, you know. Can they bounce back? Yes, I will give a game to Seoul, because I think NRG are prone to losing a match here and there. I know the NRG fans aren't going to like me saying this. I don't care. NRG are prone to losing a match here and there, and I think they try and play a bit too perfect. They need to be a bit more scrappy. Hopefully they are in this main event after getting demoed 20 times by one player. Hopefully they're a bit more scrappy and a bit more aggressive. Next game is Optic Gaming against 26 Rising. Now, I think this will be a sweep for Optic Gaming. I think that's strong. A strong win for Optic there. I think they'll bounce back. They've got the mental on that team to bounce back and be a really tough competition for anybody, to be honest. Next match, Shopify Rebellion against Knights. Comfortable win for Shopify, in my opinion. I think they're a good team. Rebellion, I think they're a really good team. Two-piece Path and Memory on that team. Two-piece looking like a really good player, and Path. And obviously Memory's been around a long time. He's just a solid player. Dignitas against Rogue up next. This is a tough one, actually. I think this is quite balanced. I think it will go to 5. See, I do really rate Andy on Dignitas. I really do rate him. But Rogue have Aqua, and Rogue have been showing glimpses of hope of being a good team. They're just kind of all over the place, though. They can't really cement themselves there at the top. I'm going to give it to Dignitas. I think it will go to 5, but I'll give it to Dignitas. I think they'll just have a little bit more than Rogue on the day. Higher matches then. Genji against Axel. This is a really interesting matchup, actually. If this happens, I'd love to see that. Because I think Axel are a really solid team. And I think they've got what it takes to take Genji to 5. I don't think they're going to beat them, but I think it's going to be a really close game, really scrappy game. Two scrappy teams there. V1 against Complexity. V1 looking pretty good. Although I do think Complexity will also look very good in this particular format. I think V1 will drop a game. I don't think they'll sweep. And I think this is the game that they're going to drop against Cole. I don't think that's going to be a popular one. I just have a feeling that Complexity are going to come out fighting. I think they got something to prove. They underperformed last time. This time they're not going to underperform. FaZe against Furia. Wow. Round 2 high match, FaZe v Furia. This is a tough one because Furia... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Furia aren't looking the Furia that we know. I think they're getting a bit closer to it. I think they're improving every time they play. They're just not quite the Furia that we knew last season. And because of that, I am going to give it to FaZe. I'm not going to have it going to 5 either. I think FaZe are looking the more comfortable team out of these two teams at the moment. The more well-rounded team. And I think that'll be a 3-1 win in favour of FaZe. Space Station Gaming up against G2. This one's going to be a scrappy one as well. I do think G2 will just be a little bit too quick and a little bit too precise for SSG. I don't think SSG are as good as they could be yet. I don't think they're that scary team at the moment that everybody doesn't want to play. I think they were scarier last season. This season, not as scary as they were. I think they've got potential, like I said previously, but I feel like G2 will reasonably comfortably win that. 3-1 in favour of G2. Let's go over here to the low matches then. They've now generated down here, as you can see. As always, I will put the link to this spreadsheet in the description. So you guys can do this. This will open up, well, you'll open up on the main page down here. And then what you want to do is you want to go to File and click Make a Copy. Once you've made a copy, you'll get a copy of all of this. Not what I've done, it'll be all clear. And you'll be able to fill in your own results. And once you've filled in all the results, it'll start automatically generating for you. So yeah, if you want to do your own, check out the description, the link will be there. Next up is Rogue against 26 Rising. I think Rogue will win that. It's a shame to see 26 Rising going out and not taking a match because they're not a bad team. It's just tough matchups, you know. I mean, they played V1 in the first round, which are the champions of the Full Cup. Then they're going to play an Optic Gaming who aren't going to want to lose a second match in a row. They're just going to be fighting for everything. And then they're coming up against the Rogue, who are a decent team and a little bit better than 26 Rising, I think. And that's why I've got them just losing. And then the following match would be Knights against Seoul. I think Knights take that. 3-1 in favour of Knights. Okay, round 3 mid matches. V1 against Dignitas. Sweep for V1 in my mind. Keep doing that. Keep giving 30 games to V1. Yeah, it's a sweep for version 1 in my mind. Just too strong for Dignitas. SSG against Shopify Rebellion. This could be a dodgy one for SSG, you know. I think Shopify are a dangerous team. Really dangerous team. I'm going to have SSG losing this. Again, not a popular one, I don't think. I do feel like Shopify are giant killers. Very similar to Team Axel in my mind. These two teams here, Shopify and Team Axel, scary teams. Look out for them. And here we have Axel against Optic. Do I think Axel will beat Optic? No. No, I think Optic have got that. They've got that fight in them, you know. They're one of those really scrappy, fighty teams, and they're going to be a tough match for anybody, in my opinion. Furia against NRG. I think Furia will be too strong for NRG. Like I said, I don't think NRG are at top 4 level, despite finishing top 4 at the full cup. I just don't think. I think that was just a bit of a honeymoon thing. Got rid of their coach, and it was an excuse to play well to make them look good. In my mind, it's all a mental game with them. I don't think they're going to be at their best here. And, well, it depends if they learn their lesson against V1 or not. But I think Furia will win that pretty comfortably as well. FaZe against Complexity in the higher matches. Ooh, dodgy. Dodgy. I do think FaZe are just a really good team. And I think they'll be one of the teams that go through without dropping any games. But I am going to have it going to 5 because I do rate Complexity. Next match, Gen.G against G2. This is a tough one. Gen.G, Abjack, Noli, and Chronic against G2, Chicago, JNAPS, and Atomic. I just have this feeling that Gen.G are just that scrappy team. They've got that EU scrap about them because of the 2 EU boys on there. And I think because of that, it's going to be too much for G2. I think it'll be too much for G2. Round 4 low matches, Space Station against Knight. Space Station will take that, and they will sweep it. NRG against Rogue is the next match. Finish strongly. Well, not finish strongly, but they'll go into the round 4 low match and beat Rogue. We'll have them sweeping Rogue, actually. I haven't given NRG a sweep yet, and they will sweep some teams. And that one of them is Rogue. Axel against Dignitas. In my mind, Axel were the stronger team from what I've seen. They look like a really solid team. I do really rate Toasty. And because of that, 3-1 win for Team Axel. Okay, over to the round 4 higher matches then. G2 against Furia Esport. This matchup last time around went in favour of Furia. Usually they don't beat G2. G2 usually have their number. Furia did have their number last time though, although it was a really close game. I think G2 will bounce back against Furia. And I think they'll win it in 5. Complexity Gaming against Shopify Rebellion. Complexity, like I keep saying, I think are a solid team. They just need to be the best that they can be to be that solid team. I think they will be this time. I think this will be close though because I do think Shopify are also a very good team, but I don't think they'll beat Complexity this time around. Version 1 against Optic. I think V1 kind of a similar team to Optic. They have the mechanics of Beast Mode on V1, AJ on Optic. Rettles and Com, similar players in my mind. Enablers, aggressive players. I think V1 win that pretty comfortably. I'm going to give a game to Optic, but I think V1 win it comfortably. Alright, Optic versus NRG. Wow, that's a tough one. I think Optic will win this. I don't think NRG are going to learn their lesson because they haven't for a very long time. I think Rettles is going to try and beat Com's 20 demos in one game. And because of that, I think it's going to fluster NRG. And I think Optic will win it. And I think they'll win it pretty comfortably as well. Shopify Rebellion against Team Axel. The two teams that I've been saying are dark horses going against each other here. This is a tough one to predict. See, I feel like these teams are very similar in terms of the level that they're at. I think Shopify may be slightly better. And because of that, I'm going to give them a 3-2 win, so they're going to win it in 5. Furia against SSG in the final round 5 match. And I think Furia will be too strong for SSG. I think they will be too strong. And that's my predictions. So then, if the predictions go this way, and that's extremely unlikely, it's a big if, then this is how the main event results table will look. FaZe going in through top seed, Gen.G second, V1 third, G2 fourth, Complexity 5th, Optic 6th, Shopify 7th, and Furia 8th. Big names going out, some really big names going out here. NRG, Space Station, the biggest names in my opinion going out. I'm just really not sure about SSG, and with the run that I had them going into here, it's quite tough. Don't think they'll beat G2. I think Rebellion definitely beat them, definitely upset them. And I just think Furia are going to be a better, stronger team as well if they come against Furia. So, you know, they're losing to 3 strong teams. Same with NRG. Axel have already perfect swept them once, and I think they'll beat them again. Furia and Optic, I just don't think Optic suit NRG. I think Optic are too scrappy and messy, you know, and NRG prefer to play a bit more perfect. And I don't think Optic will allow them to do that. That's how my final results table will look. And it will generate a playoff matches here. Now, I'm not going to predict these, like I said at the beginning. I'm not going to do these now. I'm not going to do them at all. I'm going to let the actual main event play, and then I will do the real playoff matches. I'll predict them the day before. It'll probably be uploaded on the day that the main event, the playoff matches get played. So it'll be on the Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. Probably about midday Saturday. I will upload my playoff predictions. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, do let me know. I do quite enjoy doing these prediction videos. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments. Let me know who you think will go through as top seed. Let me know who you think or what teams will go out, if there's any big names you've got going out. Like I said previously, this spreadsheet link will be in my description of this video. So do check it out if you want to fill it in yourself. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, do leave a comment if you want to interact. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And subscribe to the channel. It helps me stay motivated, helps me upload videos and know that people are enjoying it. So yeah, thanks a lot, and I will speak to you all soon.